Welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to start round 3 here at the Summoner Series Spring in the Game Arena in Columbus, Ohio. And let's take a look at the standings here before round 3 gets started. It looks like UC Pink on top with the 2-0. We've seen a game of both of their games so far. The Vikings have taken a loss. It is 1-1 for them. Looks like the field is 1-1, and definitely not GA, unfortunately, has fallen 0-2. Well, this is similar to what I was told to be expected based on the seeding. Definitely not GA, likes to have some fun. And UC Pink is here to try. So, Team Hot Dog, I've heard, is supposed to be the second favorite here, and we'll be seeing them, I believe, playing Hot Dog will be playing next. I think it'll be the 5th placed Team Jerks that will be on stream here in a bit. And I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be expecting from them, but I have heard that they do have a couple Grandmasters in the squad, and they're pretty good. So it looks like we're hopping into draft here. We're going to see a pick from the Vikings locking a Maokai early here. Let's take a look at the bans. Team Jerk on the right, red, have banned the early aggressive bot laners, and then Ivern, which is interesting. And then looking at the Vikings, they have banned out Viego with the Ezreal and the Azir. I didn't really expect to see a lot of Azir at this level, but Maokai coming in first pick, and then a Sejuani Ziggs. I like the Sejuani pick into Maokai, but I'm not sure about Ziggs this early. I guess it could be a flex pick mid, or it could be a flex pick bot, but it's more likely to be bot because you have Sejuani jungle, right? That's not a very strong mid-jungle duo. But I guess we'll have to see what the Vikings end up picking for their mid laner.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. And ooh, that is not something I was expecting in all honesty. If they lock in the Zeri, I like that a lot. Honestly, Zeri has a really solid build right now that not a whole lot of people are using, and especially up against something like a Sejuani.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us about this sleeper pick for Zeri, because I don't know about the Ziggs-Zeri matchup bot lane here. I feel like it's just going to be a slop fest. Like, they're not going to do anything. Ziggs just wants to take turrets, and Zeri just wants to sit there and grind and farm up gold and one-shot everybody. We're going to see a Victor here out for the Vikings. I do love Victor. Victor's such a fun character. Thematically, and obviously Arcane was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, looking at CSU's Vikings squad overall, they've got 2 late game scalers. They've got some really good CC and engage. And so what I'm looking for them to have now is something that can maybe do something a little bit in the early game and like some AD threats and stuff like that.
We are going to see some Ambessa gaming from the Jerks here. I'm not exactly sure where that's going to go quite yet. My understanding is you can play it in a couple different roles, right?
Yes, you can play Ambessa in a couple of different roles. You can play her jungle. You mostly see her top, but you can also go mid or jungle if she really wants to. Actually, jungle that's a little bit of a hot take, but you know.
I think a mid lane Ambessa or a mid or top looks best here. Given the Sejuani jungle, you want to be around. You want to be around your laner because you can proc the Sejuani passive. So Ziggs, I'm just worried about not having an a proper AD carry, especially with this Maokai.
Ziggs might also be their mid laner.
This is true,
they
but
might surprise us.
I don't know. It concerns me. Maybe Victor into Ziggs might be a thing. Who knows? But I feel like you most commonly see Ziggs in that AD position.
More recently, absolutely. You 100% do see that a lot more. But it's still something that could be flexed if the Jerks, as we'll call them, decide that it's better.
Yeah, since they don't want to use a nice name for us to not stutter over, they get a new nickname from us, and that's kind of a jerk move, if you will. So, hence the nickname. Move. So we're going to see the Rakan come out bot lane. So that doesn't really tell us quite yet what it is. We're going to see a Gangplank and a Nautilus ban from the Vikings, and we're going to see the Yumi Lulu bans from the Jerks. Leona support here is going to add some tankiness to this team, which would further invalidate this Zig pick. Unless it's a Leandre Zig, maybe it could do some like AP over burn over time damage, but
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
definitely a build that I've seen on Ziggs, but yeah, I don't know. This is just going on vibe, but I feel like the Jerks, if they were going if they were going a Ziggs bot lane, I don't necessarily think they would put Rakan necessarily with that. I feel like they would probably go something like either a little bit more heavy duty enchanter, something like that. But no, I guess they are, and they're gonna be rocking the Gwen top. Not too surprising. Gwen to Cassante is a pretty fun matchup.
I'm concerned about their damage here. I feel like, oh, that wasn't a locked pick. Oh, it's Fiora.
Yeah, that's
That
that's even better, honestly.
that
Even
changes
better.
my opinion a lot. I think that Fiora pick into Cassante, that'll be a spicy matchup. Let's see if the Jerks speak a little Korean. And Cassante Gaming. I'm not sure. But as far as the rest of it, that rounded off. I was concerned they'd have too much AP if they picked an AP top laner there. But that rounds the comp off very nicely. It's going to be some nice split pushing, I think, is what we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the Jerks definitely do have two strong split pushers. So if they, in CSU Vikings, they want to group up all in one spot. So I think that's a really good way of getting them to maybe go other ways. Ambessa's really good in 1v1 fights, and Sejuani can get in and around the map pretty easily and pretty well as well.
It is an
So
Ambessa mid.
it is that yeah, I just I don't know why that didn't really click in my head, even though I see like the full team comp here, but that is absolutely correct. I mean, it's I don't know how I really feel about that going into Victor. Like Victor does sort of struggle against some assassins with a lot of dashes, but he does have the W as well, so he should very well be able to play that correctly and kind of invalidate the Ambessa in lane a little bit, but I don't know. I haven't really seen Ambessa mid matchups too much.
I haven't either. So this is going to be an experience for both of us. And of course, it's the Jerks bringing out this wild stuff. Who would have guessed? No, but in all seriousness, it'll be an interesting matchup for certain. It's going to be an all-in kind of style. I actually kind of like it. I see what they're going for here. They have some good disengage and engage with Sejuani. The Ziggs ultimate offers a bit of disengage as well, and Bessa can go in pretty hard. Rakan can also engage or disengage. Rakan just also can engage from 3 screens away. That's just what Rakan does. And then Fiora adds that element of split push that needs to be addressed. But also, you can't just leave Cassante up there to be punished by Fiora forever.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've actually seen a very similar comp to this where they ran Ziggs and then a very strong split pusher. And their opponents were very heavy duty team fighters. So like say whenever CSU Vikings would like say go for like a mid play, they would go for an objective. They would put like Fiora top lane, Ziggs bot lane, and then they would just like boom go all the way through, or like opposite. They go like Ziggs mid, Fiora top, Fiora bot, something like that. They would just go in the 2 lanes that their opponents aren't in as very strongly, and they would try and get them to go for the Fiora, get them to go for the Ziggs, and then they would be able to push very strongly in 2 lanes at once. And so it would pretty much have the effect of breaking up the team fight capability because you could never really team fight without losing anything. So I think that's exactly what the Jerks are going for here.
I mean, realistically, who wants to 1v1 a Fiora on the Vikings?
Not me.
Nobody. It's at least a 2v1. It's Leona plus somebody. And realistically, it's probably Leona plus Cassante and somebody else to get the elimination later against Fiora, because they're all tanks, right? Fiora's just going to melt them.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the thing, is like they are all very tanky. You don't really have any like assassin or like burst damage to take down the Fiora, which is like her main counter. And so I don't know, that Fiora pick does really kind of crush them. They I don't know, man. They like you said, they are gonna have a really hard time fighting that. They're just gonna have to find some other way to deal with that to punish it. Like maybe send, and they don't really have the most amazing like wave clear aside like in the fact that like you have to send your Victor or your Zeri up there. And if you do that, then like your team fight is kind of toast. So
Exactly.
that does kind of feel kind of bad too. So
I mean, Victor
I'm
can
just
match
trying
the
to think
Ziggs,
of
that's
ways.
fine. Victor can match Ziggs, that's not a problem. He can neutralize the wave clear. But realistically, Fiora by herself, it just pulls so much pressure. And that's not to mention if Sejuani is lurking around, or Rakan. Rakan could be right there, like I said, 3 screens away, and just insta-snap engage you, and you're done. And Sejuani can snap engage pretty quick, too. It's like, it's going to be... Vikings are going to have to be on their toes, have their vision game going, because they can and will get jumped by on these split pushes. They're going to get collapsed on. That's just the strategy, right?
Yeah, and I guess we're really gonna have to just see how it all plays out because it's gonna come down to ease of execution for a lot of these things. Like the jerks, I feel like for a lot of their things, the ease of execution is definitely there. But for CSU Vikings, I feel like their team fight ease of execution is obviously there. So it just really comes down to how they play, how they get their tempo going, and if like anything crazy happens, like a weirdo jungle invade gone wrong or something like that, we'll see.
I will also remind you, this is North America, and that is a Fiora on the North American server. This is not a Korean Fiora one trick, as far as I know. So there's always the potential for Fiora to do nothing at the end of the day. Fiora is only as good as their player, to some degree.
I do suppose I could see like if Fiora early on like is a little bit too overly confident up against Cassante, maybe gets a little bit ganked up by the Maokai, something could happen. Like if she just completely disrespects this Cassante, throws everything away early on, something that could invalidate everything that we were saying earlier, which is exactly back to what I was saying. It really comes down to how intelligently and how effectively they're able to execute their plays as a team, pretty much.
Yeah, and Cassante can absolutely roll a Fiora if he gets an early pick, or a Fiora takes a bad reset, or whatever the case might be. But speaking of finding out, we're going to jump right here into game. Nothing out of the ordinary. Looks like we predicted everything as it should be. No crazy outstanding runes. And it looks like we got some teleports. And the only thing that's a little outstanding here to me is this Ambessa's election to run Electrocute. I'm not sure if that's the proper rune setup, but I like the idea if you're trying to burst down this Victor.
I get it. I'm with it. Electrocute just does a ridiculous amount of damage, and Ambessa can quite easily proc it. So she's just really leaning into the assassin playstyle is what it seems like to me, rather than going bruiser.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. You just got to do a little bit of... you need to one-shot people if you're going to play that matchup, right?
Yeah, that's definitely something you can do up against Victor. Like I said, he can sometimes struggle up against... Ooh, we were talking about some things that could maybe hurt the Fiora, and this might be it. Crazy weirdo jungle invades, but does manage to dash on away, and actually does a pretty good amount of damage back to the Cassante.
I would like to acknowledge Fiora's name, Final Boss of Ohio, representing the greatest state of all that doesn't exist. But, so let's see how this bot lane matchup does play out, because we're really interested seeing as how it's a Ziggs and Rakan, not a matchup that I would instinctually go with, but obviously Zeri doesn't have a lot of kill pressure early, so it should just kind of be a farm up and grind thing down here. Ziggs is going to push the wave in all the time and then just kind of take the turret.
Yep, and it's looking like Sejuani is going to start on the bot side, either going for a full clear or trying to gank for Fiora, which is very interesting. It makes me feel like they're going to try and really lean into this Fiora's split pushing capability. And with the fact that what I was mentioning earlier with the potential for the split push comp where they split push 2 different lanes, that really does lend some credence to that, I feel like, and I feel like it's the right decision to make.
Yep, I mean, and then you kind of just let this Ambessa play and leave her alone in the mid lane, and if she gets a kill and plays for herself and it works out, great, and just not lose is your goal. The Fiora is coming here for this early invade, going to force the smite out from the Maokai. Not sure how relevant that's going to be, but it's going to force them to go bot lane. I don't think they're going to contest the top crab.
Well, he started top, so I mean, it's not something that he wouldn't have done anyway. So it's all right for Maokai. You would have loved to not have to have smited that, I guess, but it does slow him down just a little bit. If you notice, he's just starting his bot side, and Sejuani's almost already done with her top side. So the big thing there is the fact that it made him waste some of his time.
Yep, and what's important here is where the wave is at currently in the top side, if this gank's going to happen or not. And it looks like the wave is pushing, so this is set up perfectly for a gank. And there's currently no vision for the Cassante, so I'm a little concerned for his safety as the Sejuani is going to make their way over. Probably take the crab and then head up.
Yep, seems like it. And in comes the ping, in comes the Sejuani. Let's see how it's going to go. Oh, a little bit of good stuff from the Cassante, but he's about to get stunned out, unstoppable, but waiting to hit the final mark. Sejuani, well played. Does get the kill there, but still very much worth it for the Fiora.
And a disengage here from the Rakan, trying to protect his carry, and does so successfully. Maokai trying to get a little cross-map action here in exchange. A very unfortunate death for Cassante. It looks like Fiora's going to get a free reset. Never mind. Going to cancel that to clear out some vision or catch the wave. And then take a reset. Sejuani going to go and reset here as well.
Yeah, I mean, Fiora, the wave state for her was, it was okay. Like, she probably could have done it in TP'd, but she probably is thinking that, oh, Cassante probably not going to be building too much damage, and Sejuani's still here as well, so I can just fix my wave state even better.
And it looks like they engaged
it's a
on
little
him.
bit greedy, but it's intelligently greedy.
Did Cassante teleport back, or is that a spectator bug? I'm curious.
He did not. He did
okay,
not
he walked back.
He walked.
Okay, so it makes sense for him to be able to trade aggressively here and kind of walk up. If I teleported back, I'd be much more concerned about trading my HP bar then. But it looks like Cassante's going to be able to get this wave pretty safely, because Maokai's also there, because you're not going to die with the Maokai right there. First dragon's going to be spawning here. Looks like it's a Hex, or a Chemtech dragon. And Sejuani's going to make her way over there to that.
-1 on the cannon. Cassante feels bad, man. But
everybody saw that.
Everyone else has seen it too.
You need to be careful if you're Fiora in this situation, though. As you get to level 6, if your Riposta's down, you can absolutely get kidnapped and destroyed in that 1v1 against Cassante. If you keep your back to the wall, there's a chance you can protect one of the vitals. Alright, Victor going to get back to lane here. Catch his wave just in time. The Chemtech Dragon is still up. Nobody's quite gotten it yet. It looks like bot lane's going to take a snuff and see if they can kind of... Pings are coming out around the area. They're clearing the vision out. Rakan going to reset and probably run that way.
Yeah, ooh, Ziggs might be in a little bit of trouble here. Does have the W up, though. Oh, barely missed from the Leona. I don't know if that would have been a good one to necessarily take, though, but yeah. Either way, looks like Sejuani is going to be prioritizing getting the grubs, which makes sense because of the prio states to the lanes. But, ooh, Ziggs going to be forced to flash this time.
But I would also argue it just strictly based on the compositions. If I'm playing a Fiora, I want Void Grubs. I want 6 grubs every single time. So that I think it's well worth trading a Chemtech Drag for Void Grubs, especially when it's not even the soul. You could be getting a better soul instead.
Yeah, and if you notice, Maokai did try to follow up on that plan to Ziggs when he flashed, so it does mean that they're going to be taking a little bit extra long to take this dragon, which, ooh, Sejuani's going to be here as well. They might be able to get some kills here, not the dragon, but definitely going to get some kills. Maokai going down for the count, chasing onto the Leona as well. Zeri going to be able to E over the wall, and they should be able to, oh, barely missed the ult there from Evil Troy on Mbessa, unfortunately, but I mean, hey, a kill is still a kill, and... looking pretty good now with 3 in your favor for the Jerks.
Yep, everybody got to take a back up here. They all kind of funneled into that chokehold and had to go. There was no way you can... That Zeri just firing down the hallway, it was so free. You take so much damage. Mbessa going to go and take a reset here. We'll see what she's going to pick up. Probably has a little bit of gold to spend. Get some boots and a pink.
Is she going Mauve Malmortis, or do you think she's just going Merc Treads?
My gut tells me Mercs. But I could absolutely make a valid argument for Maul this game because Maokai, Victor, and even Zeri does a good bit of AP damage. I don't think Maw is wrong. I can't say Maw is wrong, but I think there are better options. There could be better options anyway. But it could be like a Bruise or Hybrid build where you go like a Maw Spirit Visage kind of thing and just try and survive, but we'll see. Zig's gonna get caught out here. Rakan is not here to bail him out.
Dude. Yep, Scrub McLord. Being that he's that guy once again. We saw him last time as Draven. He 100% carried the game, and now he's got his team's first kill. We'll see what he can do with it. Got a lot of CS here as well, man. He might be able to be the thing, that one thing.
We'll have to see. I mean, it's early game Zeri. There's still room. There's still time to make that mistake. Evo Phantom gonna get CC'd and eliminated. Oh, and it looks like Ambessa might be getting picked here as well. The arrival of Leona might shift the tide. We'll see. Gonna go in CNC.
We'll see what Fiora can do. It's definitely looking like the mid laner is going to be going down for the count, and Leona going to be falling now as well. Ziggs coming in with the ult, but is going to be able to dodge it courtesy of the Fiora. But Final Boss of Ohio takes his toll once again on the enemy team. And yeah, I think it's just going to be keeping on going. Has ult up now, and oh, that is incredibly greedy from his beard. Is weird, and he is going to be punished very hard for trying to go back in for those Raptors.
I feel like Sejuani should have given that to Fiora, to be honest. But I'll permit it. I feel like... So Fiora now has gold. There is a Tiamat on this Fiora that is going to run topside and now perma-split push. Cassante has a tier and a... is building a Thornmail, so we'll have to see. But, oh, I don't know. I don't know if that Bramble Vest is going to be enough to contest this Fiora right now.
Yeah, I mean, the damage just isn't there for him, and he's not super duper tanky yet, but putting that thought on hold, and goes to Rakan, expertly dodged by Scrub McLord, and is going to look to turn this one around. Is getting a little bit tagged up here, and does have to be a little bit cautious of the Sejuani, but yeah, the damage output is not going to be nearly as high for the Jerks, so they're going to try and back off and wait for Zeri's ult to expire.
Yep, absolutely the correct play. Rakan going to go and try and snuff around here a little bit. All right. Maokai barely squeaking out with their life. The Jerk's going to go ahead and look and grab that Scuttle Crab real quick and probably grab these Void Grubs on respawn because, like they said, it is way more important here to get these Void Grubs than anything else. So, yep, we're going to get 6 Void Grubs for the Jerks. And a teleport coming back from Victor from mid lane, try and catch that wave before Ambessa crushes the rest of the way in. And a teleport bot side for the Ziggs to kind of catch that wave and start pushing it back towards the turret. There's only 3 more minutes left in the plates, so I'm a little concerned for the Ziggs. I feel like if you're playing Ziggs bot, you really want to have more plates by 11 minutes, no?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Ziggs is all about getting the plates, all about getting turrets, and so the fact that he's not really getting a whole lot. Ooh, putting that thought on hold. Fiora getting a little bit abducted, but does manage to dash away from...
Cassante does need to be careful. Fiora is 3/4 of the way back to having her ultimate. Victor going to get traded out here.
Troy is going to be taken.
Oh, and then there's the Fiora ultimate. Is it going to be enough? And down goes Cassante.
Absolutely, it's going to be enough. That's just an overall win on all fronts for the Jerks. Winning individually in the top lane from Fiora, the Duelist, and winning 3 versus 1 in the mid lane.
Yep, and I mean, it's a 2 for 0 and a turret. The Ziggs, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to take back what I said. I don't think it matters that the Ziggs didn't get a ton of gold because they didn't lose that much, and now this Fiora is completely up. So if the observer wouldn't mind, if we could get a look at the gold at some point, I want to know how far ahead this Fiora is. 5,200 gold. Look at that. Up 2,000 gold. I mean, they're up everywhere, and it's by a significant amount. I mean, bot lane's even, but Leona's going to go down. That's an elimination for the Ziggs, bringing the Ziggs back up to the rest of the team. But this Fiora now has 2,000 gold by picking up the first turret.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit dire in the top lane for Cassante as Fiora's just doing Fiora things, taking the first turret, and now going to be trying to get a little bit extra ahead by taking the top side jungle camps as well.
Yep, and the Jerks are going to go and get the dragon here completely uncontested because there's nothing that the Vikings can do about it right now. There goes the Ocean Drake, and let's see what rift we get. It's going to be another Hex Rift. So, if I am the Vikings, I'm kind of liking that. That is really good for Zeri. But it could also be really scary if Fiora gets something like that and can absolutely run you down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's... Yeah, this is one where you want to get it, like, no matter what. It's just a universally good dragon to get, regardless of who you're playing. Damage is damage, damage good.
And a quick item check-in. That is a completed Hydra and a Sheen for the Fiora top lane. And currently, Cassante is sitting on a Bramble Vest. So I am concerned for Cassante's safety.
Yeah, and notice the fact that Fiora is just being able to pretty much do whatever she wants. She was able to get that blue buff into the hands of her and Sejuani, and while they're getting these good buffs for themselves, they're completely taxing this Maokai. He's going to fall even further behind, not only in kills, but also in CS. He's about to not be able to do too much, and oh, getting a little bit abducted is going to be the victor. He is so toast, man. Throws down the ult, but it is not going to matter. The Jerks claim their mark once again.
And the objective bounties are coming up soon. Zeri's trying to make something happen here. Rakan gonna ult out to kind of buy a little bit of space there, get the shield. Is the turret gonna be enough?
Oh,
yes,
it is, because two different minds there.
They didn't let the turret cooldown reset, so Maokai took full damage turret shot after that. That hurt a lot.
Yeah, it seems like they were playing.
You gotta juggle the tower aggro a little bit better than that. Uh-oh, and now they're gonna get punished for it. The enemy team is back, and it's over. Oh no, and you lose your bot lane turret as a result. Fiora just casually in the enemy base doing Fiora things.
Yep, just being really annoying and causing a lot of disturbances, allowing Mbessa to get some alone time with the mid laner. It's exactly what you want. It's playing to perfection the double split push comp.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So what exactly, if you're the Vikings here, what am I trying to do to get back into this game? I think I'm just trying to weather the storm and try and outscale, because, I mean, ultimately Victor, Zeri, Cassante will scale better than Fiora, Mbessa, and Ziggs, but I don't know if the game will go long enough for that to happen.
I don't know, man. It's really tough at this point just because Fiora is so dang ahead, and no one else is really even close to that. I feel like she could even, like, 2v1, so unfortunately I feel like you have to put... It's playing right into their hands, but you sort of have to put most of the people exactly where Fiora is going. Oh, maybe you're able to take down these split pushers one at a time, but again, the mobility is just way too much. I just don't feel like their comp is very well equipped to deal with this. Is the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, the Jerks have snap engage, and that's what I was talking about earlier about Rakan being able to engage from so far away. It's like you have to be aware and you have to have vision, but they're being pushed out of their own jungle, so they can't even put their vision down. And it looks like Zeri might get picked here off of 2 ultimates. Yep, and there goes the Zeri and the mid lane turret. You're also going to lose your Leona. So I think this game is all but over unless the Vikings can just somehow protect their turrets and clear the waves.
It is a very convincing performance from the Jerks, I will say.
Yeah, an inaugural stream performance. It looks like they're going to take this. Yeah, it looks like they're going to take the mid lane turret pretty uncontested. It should go down with the satchel. Oh, satchel must not have gotten up in time. They're going to try and... Uh-oh, the Fiora baited. You might be dying. Turret dive? Ooh. Missed the Hydra proc. Yeah, I mean, Cassante, what can Cassante do? I mean, what can you do? It's a Sheen and a Hydra, and I bet you Fiora's got at least 2,500 gold in her inventory right now.
Literally nothing. What you really need to do is just have him swap with the Victor, in my personal opinion. Victor, while probably can't overtly beat Fiora in a fight, can at least clear the wave up against her, and Cassante would do a lot better up against Mbessa than, like, say, any of these other guys. So I feel like that's what's got to happen. It's not a perfect solution by any means, but it's pretty much one of your only options, in my opinion.
Let's see if Ambessa can outplay here. Got the entire enemy team coming.
Totally
It looks like we're gonna get
outplay.
there. Yep. Got over to the blast plant, is out. All right, so third dragon has spawned here.
With the snipe on the Zeri, the no look.
What a tragedy. Well, the dragon is up. It is going to be basically uncontested. It should be free for the jerks. Fiora just lurking. Casually turret diving a Victor and literally can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but the entire team is here for Victor if he does need it, so if Fiora does go for the crazy dive, she might actually die. We'll see. But yeah, this is still Fiora working exactly how she wants to. She's got 4 people bot lane for pretty much no reason, and now Ziggs is able to push down mid, and Bess is able to push up top. They've still got Prio in all these lanes, by the way.
Yep, they're just dancing, and everybody has to answer Fiora because if Fiora just proved that she can turret dive 2 or 3 people by herself. And look at that, that is the completed Triforce, so... I mean, that Fiora is scary.
Nice little dodge there from the Victor, and he's going to be able to successfully push him on away. And, oh, we might actually see a W from the Cassante? But
No.
that damage from Fiora is just so disgusting. The 2 completed items, it's just how many items you got at this point.
Cassante
if they were even, Cassante would have won. Probably would have won that.
Oh,
but,
and Cassante is Ambessa is here. The problem with Cassante in this matchup is he can only win as long as Fiora CC'd, because as soon as Fiora gets to hit with the Hydra, she's going to heal, so... Even with the Grievous wounds, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really matter too much. She's just got way too much damage to get lifesteal from at this point. It doesn't matter how much you mitigate it if you're Cassante when you're this far behind. But they might be able to get a little bit of a cheeky plan to Ziggs. He wanted to be able to W over the wall, but he couldn't. But oh, it looks like Sejuani is going to be here to help. Ult's going to go a little bit flying away there from Ziggs, and it will be flown right back into the Zeri, whom he does kill right on back, fortunately for him, but... Yeah, it's still going to be worthwhile because Ziggs had such a massive shutdown.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like Ziggs had any like stacks or anything, so it is what it is. I mean, the gold advantage, they're up 11,000 gold, so we're going to get to check it out. Oh, instant replay of that snipe. Dead center, caught crossing against it and then getting burned to death. Thank you to production for that one. Fantastic. Rakan gonna go ahead and try and clear out some vision here. I mean, gonna get collapsed on, but not really worried about it. Fiora's right here. Fiora is the king of this map right now, or the queen of this map. So Ambessa's gonna go ahead and tear down this wave and try and hit some of the turret. It's gonna go ahead and pull 3 members of the blue team. And then there's going to leave 2 against this Fiora. So Fiora might be able to put some chip work into the bot lane turret. Unless Victor's able to clear it fast enough. But it looks like we're just standing and waiting.
Yep, standing and waiting for someone to come into the jungle for the dragon or something like that.
I mean, they don't need to do the dragons. So if you're up this far, there's no point in finishing the dragons because that would just cause Elder to spawn. So,
We're going to try and force a play here, but oh, it's actually going to be Scrum McLord that finds one. Fiora might be getting left alone and down. Big shutdown in the hands of Scrum McLord. Literally exactly what you wanted to have happen. And Bess is trying to trade out the top turret for this, and she is definitely going to. And in fact, the fact that she's able to do this, regardless of if she dies or not, Sejuani is going to be able to get some free time alone with the dragon. She will die 100%, but... I shouldn't say that. She might actually not be dying 100%. Maokai gonna miss.
And
she does barrel away like a bandit. He gets out.
All right, so free. And then Sejuani's gonna go and pick up this dragon because at this point you might as well. I think if you win that team fight there, you win the game, or basically win the game. So we're gonna go and pick up this dragon, get some stats. Why not? Got nothing to do for the next few minutes. Pick up the Atacon while we're down here. And then I think it's time to just take a reset, and they could make it. They could dance around and force a Baron fight if they really wanted to, but that's kind of, they just have to wait for the Baron, I think.
Yeah, and now that I'm looking at this, you can feel free to disagree with me. This is an incredibly hot take. I think the fact that now they have a lot less objectives outside of their base is going to be a time where they can really stabilize, because you can you have when you're playing a lot more closer to your base like this, it's a lot more easy to defend. So like split pushiness that they have here is going to be a lot less difficult to deal with, because again, if they're just sitting in their base around here, they're a lot more easily able to deal with Fiora. Oh, Fiora split pushing top, we'll push her back. This guy's pushing mid, we'll push him back. It's going to start to deteriorate the damage that they're able to do with the split pushing, and they're gonna have to really, I feel like the Jerks have to win a team fight here eventually, obviously.
Yeah, and I thought that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier with Baron. It looks like they're going to try and crack this turret, and they are going to get the Rift to crack the tier 3. See if they can get the Rift Herald off of it. They might just be trying to close the gap now.
Zeri doing damage, let's see, and goes... Oh no, they're actually going to be finding him, and he goes down. Scrub McLord sniped once again, and they might be able to get one back, though. Cassante goes in, but Fiora gets him with the repost. Absolute devastation, and the team fight, they have won, my friend. The Jerks in the base, the turrets are going down, and it seems like a matter of time before they take it, and they go for Leona falling by the wayside, and that will do it, my friend. CSU Vikings fought valiantly, but they're going to be getting a one-way trip to Valhalla, courtesy of the Jerks.
I mean, what? There isn't a whole lot to say there. It happened exactly what we talked about in Champ Select. That Fiora got ahead, and once she got ahead, she was able to run the map. It took 2, 3, 4 members to protect a single turret, but even then, they were picking up stuff on the other side of the map. I mean, it's textbook split push win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they came in with a mindset and they played it to perfection. They executed it very well. No one could really catch the one split pusher. No one could really 1v1 them either, and they just played it super well. They've clearly rehearsed that a lot.
And I think we'll see that comp more as we go on. And so that was the end of round 3. We've got round 4 coming up here, so don't go far. Stick around, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.